Hi, I'm Cheryl Klein, and I am here in Boise, Idaho for a writers' conference. And my dear author, Trent Reedy, drove over from Spokane, Washington to hang out with me and to talk about his novel, Words in the Dust, which is coming out in January. And this is a really amazing book. I first read the manuscript for it, I guess in like November of last year, and it completely changed my view of Afghanistan. And a lot of that is rooted in how, and Trent's time while he was over there, his actual experience being in Afghanistan. Could you talk a little bit about that? Like, how did you get involved in the Army and get sent over there and so on?
I joined the National Guard to take advantage of the tuition assistance for college.
Yeah.
And along with that comes your agreement to deploy when you're called. And so I was called up to serve in the war in 2004. Mm-hmm. And I was in Afghanistan from 2004 to 2005 in the western province of Farah. Our outpost was brand new. In fact, when we first got to Afghanistan, there was literally nothing on the ground but dirt and rocks. And so we rented a small Afghan house in the city of Farah while Afghan laborers constructed our base.
Wow.
It was a really fascinating experience.
What sort of things were you doing there?
Our mission was to provide security for the reconstruction effort. It was great. We would travel to villages and assess their needs, whether they needed maybe help with their well, or if we could put in a school for them, we could bring school supplies. We also provided security for their historical election. They had an election for president while we were there. It was amazing. Once we were driving down the street in the city of Farah, and there were people lined up all around the block, and they were waving their voter registration cards in the air saying, "Thank you, thank you, thank you."
Wow.
It was incredible to watch democracy being born. There was a gentleman on the street who was complaining because he didn't like Hamid Karzai, and he had all these issues. And I said to him, "Go ahead and complain, man. Nobody is going to stop you. You are absolutely free to disagree with whatever you want."
Right.
It was amazing.
Or whoever he wants and stuff. Yeah, that's really cool. And then while you were there, you met a girl named Zuleika, right?
We did. Our unit was on a mission to assess a village for its needs, to talk to the village elders. And we saw this young Afghan girl. Her upper lip was unjoined, and her teeth, cleft lip, and her teeth were twisted around so they poked out straight forward, and she would always keep this covered. Uh-huh. A lot of Afghan girls will cover themselves, but it was clear that the way she was covering herself was different. She was very shy about this, and we just had to do something to help her. So my fellow soldiers and I pooled our money so that we could arrange for a flight to our air base.
Wow.
And one of our Army doctors volunteered to conduct the surgery. He was a brilliant man. She was totally changed in a very short time. It was wonderful.
How was she changed?
Well, first of all, her lip was joined and her teeth were straightened. And this would allow her to speak better and to be able to eat and drink better.
A lot of things we just sort of take for granted. Yeah.
And she didn't cover herself as much. She didn't hide away as much as she used to.
Behind her shawl.
She would usually use her shawl or her hand,
yeah.
And now she didn't. And I just wondered how that surgery affected her life. Like, what would life be like for her when she returned home?
And what would it have been like beforehand, I guess.
Yeah, and that got me thinking about the ideas that eventually resulted in Words in the Dust.
Yeah.